How you guys doing? Guy Ward, NYC Live Media, Younger Games, Naked, Roman Greco Wrestling, producer of the show. All right, this is the monetization video. Right off the bat, we split 50-50 with all of our performers gross. Right off the top. We don't work for you. You don't work for us. We are partners. We work together. We're not in this unless you make at least 5 figures, $10,000 per match. It's not worth it to us, and we don't think it's worth it to you. Door money. We're charging $200 per ticket for the live events at the venue. We're looking at 1,000 venue or more occupancy. That's $100,000, 50% that you split between 8 performers. Because it's 4 matches a show, 5-hour show, $200 a ticket. I don't think that's Broadway is charging. The minimum for a show is $200 for a ticket. We maybe even be able to get more. So that's $12,500. So right there with the door money, you guys are making 5 figures per match. Pay-per-view. Now we're going to be streaming this live and charging pay-per-view. Now, each one of the matches will have its own pay-per-view sectioned hour, and then we're also going to have a package where we sell the whole show. Now each one of you guys is going to get your own PayPal ID for your own specific hour, and for your own PayPal ID. Because if you're an existing exotic performer and you've got an existing fan base in the hundreds of thousands, you're bringing a lot to the table. And we want you to get rewarded for this. So we're going to give you your own PayPal ID. And this ID will identify you. All that money goes to you from all of your fan base. So any of the PayPal sales, pay-per-view sales you make to your fan base, you keep all of that share. Whereas the door money gets split between the 8 performers. The pay-per-view sales, that goes directly into your purse. All right. So what we charge, it could be anywhere from $1.99 to $9.99 for the hour. I don't think we could really get away with charging more than that, but we're going to find out what the sweet spot is. We want to make sure that we get as much money out of this as usual as possible. So let's say if you have an existing fan base with 100,000 followers, and we decide to charge $1.99, $2 for your match an hour. And let's say 50%, you could easily say 50% of your active followers will pay $2 to watch you wrestle naked that they can bet on. It's not too hard to imagine. That's a conservative estimate or a good estimate, which means it's $100,000 in pay-per-view money, which means you keep $50,000 of that. Now, if we charge $9.99 for your hour, and let's say only 5% pay the $9.99, $10, that's only $50,000, which means you only get $25,000 added to your purse. So there's a sweet spot there, and we're going to find it on how we do it. But that just gives you an idea on what kind of pay-per-view money we're going to be talking about here. All right. Our platform is going to be performer friendly. We haven't even developed it yet, and we're waiting for your input to tell us how you want that platform. And I'm talking about the financing. We want a total transparency. So anytime you sell a pay-per-view or we sell tickets, you could see that money calculated into your purse as agreed to by our agreement. So we want you to design it. We're going to have a platform so that anytime you could go to your phone, we're going to give you your own ID so that you can access the platform and see precisely what your purse is at any moment. As we sell tickets, we're going to do publicity stunts. We're going to go to the Central Park, and we're going to get almost completely naked and do little wrestling sparring matches and draw a crowd. And then we're going to work the crowd and sell pay-per-view and sell tickets. So you could check that at any time and see after that event what added to your purse and how. So it's total transparency. We're going to have it set up that way. And we want you to tell us how to do it. And we're not even building it yet until you tell us how you want it. Now, we got deals, package deals we're putting together with the streaming companies already are in the works, right? And you get 50% of that. Any money that's brought in for that show, you get 50% of that. All right, now we're going to market this worldwide. We're not just going to sell this to America. We're going to market this worldwide. And and when you do worldwide marketing, you got to target specific countries because of certain countries have different style of platforms. Everybody's got, like Japan. One of our first countries we're going to target is Japan, because I happen to have friends in the rock business who actually live in Japan, because you can make a living playing rock and roll in Japan, but you can't in America, which is pretty sad but true. So we're going to start with countries like Japan. And so and they have their own platform besides like Japan, Facebook, and specialized, catered to the specific customs of that country. So we are going to work with, target and market our wrestlers worldwide, targeting specific countries. And this is why. All right, now let's talk about the third round. Now this is the betting part. We may not have betting right off the bat on our platform. We may probably, once we can get it, we're going to set up deals with places like FanDuel and DraftKings, because they do have authorized gaming partners, which means you'll get a percentage of all the bets off of that. But more important is we want that third round to be real. We want it to be a real wrestling match. The first two rounds are entertainment rounds. You can't win. Those are the nude rounds, right? But the third round is the real round, is the real wrestling match, a real sport. We're even going to put wrestling spandex on, ear protection, and a mouthpiece, and make it bring in a authorized wrestling referee, so that the integrity of the third round, it's a real sport, so that we can encourage the gambling centers like Vegas and Macau, and get deals like with FanDuel or DraftKings as authorized gambling partners. All right. If we can get that, whether we get the money or not, and eventually we will, maybe, probably, most likely set up our own gambling, which means we'll make, you know what I'm talking about, kind of money. All right. So, but in the beginning, we're still going to make a lot of money, because what we want to do is encourage this betting. Because no matter what, whether we got to deal with whoever, the bookie on the corner working with the mob, we're not going to get any of that. But one thing you can guarantee is that anybody that makes a bet on our match is going to pay the pay-per-view to see the match live. Every single one of them is going to pay to watch it live. They're going to pay us to watch it live. So no matter who makes the bet around the world, we still get our cut. You'll find that I'm an easy guy to work with. And I want total input from you guys on this whole project. This is a new idea. It's a new concept. Combining entertainment and sports together, I think it's going to give this longevity. I think if we go into this with just like WWE and everybody knows it's fake, it's not gonna give this any longevity. But when you make that third round a real wrestling match, a real betting sport, it changes the whole thing. And you know what I'm talking about, and you know I'm right. Contact me anyway. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your ideas. You got my contact information. All right? I'll be here.